If you haven't got problems, I feel bad for your son. I got 99 problems and a bitch ain't one.
Here we go. Hey, welcome back. This is Marvel Strike Force 99 Problems, but a Stitcher ain't one, with Damian Harmony and Iain MacDonald. I'm Damian Harmony.
And I'm not.
One of us is very lucky. So this is episode 6, Team Up, where Iain and I are going to discuss the top 3 most versatile characters across as many groups as possible. So, hey, Iain.
Yes.
What if I wanted to plug and play a character into the most teams and do that the best? What 3 would I choose?
Well, there are a few sort of plug and play characters, as you like. Obviously, as we've kind of discussed, the best synergies that you're going to get are from ones that are exclusively in their own teams. But there are some ones that you can sort of just pick out and put in any other team, and they will just enhance any team basically. Most of those are the legendaries, like your Invisible Woman, Inshuri, Star-Lord. Basically, every legendary that you have, you can pretty much put into any team, and they will help make that team stronger. But the ones that aren't legendaries that do that sort of job as well, the top 3, I would say, Ghost is a new arrival. She would probably be in the top 3. She's superb, just sort of putting in any kind of team, and her being able to just do her thing. Another one would be, let's see, Minerva, who's been a favourite of mine for a long time. She just basically heals everyone. Every time it seems every time someone has a little drop in health, she just heals them. So she is total plug and play. And the other one, daddy of them all, Ultron. You don't even need to put him into a specific team. Just put him in himself. He is a one-man army. And the fact that you've got 4 other teammates surrounding him, it's just a little bit of a bonus.
Okay.
But yeah, Ultron, he's dropped off a little bit from the kind of the meta of the game. Basically because you can't get red stars on him. That shows you how
cannot?
good. No, you can't get red stars on Ultron. He's the only character you can't get red stars on. I think that's basically because he's so good.
Now, Ultron sounds like a really tall order, though. I'm looking at I have 0 out of 310, and I believe you told me that I needed to get him either at 5 or at 7 stars, and that's through a different thing where I need to have 6-star characters. I'm much more a beginning player, so let's take Ultron out of the hat for just a second. Right. And who would you recommend I have as a Swiss Army knife of a character, given my limited capabilities?
Sort of early game, Mr. Sinister is a really good one. He is a little hard to get, but someone who's relatively easy to get is this chap here, Falcon.
Now you're speaking my language.
He is a superb character. He speeds up the whole team. He does an area of attack, basically hitting all of the opposition team. And he's got another function as well, if I can remember rightly. It's a positive effect one. If the primary target has any positive effects, you get an extra bonus attack on them on his basic move. He's a really good player. He's because it's a turn-based game, so whenever your characters can speed up, it can always be a help. But yeah, he is a great plug and play character without a doubt.
Okay, yeah, because I'm looking at him. He is hero. He is global. He's tech. He is blaster. Well, he is a blaster. He's a tech guy, but he's got Avenger and power armor.
Yeah.
So that tells me that I can stick him with anybody who's got. Does Pimtech count as power armor or no?
They don't count as power armor.
Oh, bummer. But I can stick him with any of Iron Man's sycophants, and he will do all right with them. And again, he's an Avenger, and that's probably one of the widest nets that they've cast in this game. So him, and then I'm looking now at Ghost, because I think just recently unlocked, or come to think of it,
Right.
And
Very
I've
good.
leveled her all the way up to level 2. So I'm really excited what she can do at level 2. But I'm looking at her, and she's got the Pim Tech, and she's an infiltrator. But she's a villain, so she can work with pretty much. I've got my Hela character that you are very high on, and I could put her with Hela.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
But
okay.
the thing as well that you need to remember about basically pairing up people is that to read their kits as well. Because there you've got on the Falcon's passive, he's got extra block chance per power armor ally. Now, the
Right.
point that I was going to make is if we look at his tech, he's got a tech tag. So we'll just have a little look at someone that springs to mind, Mr. Vision. His passive, on spawn, all tech allies gain defense up for 2 turns. So
Okay.
so the big thing about making a team sort of theory crafting, if you like, is sort of reading the text and basically what each character's special moves do. Because as I say, like, all tech allies gain defense up for 2 turns. So,
All right, and I'm just looking at that very statement that you made about Vision. All of them to gain defense up for 2 turns. It makes them harder to hit or harder to hurt. And
Yeah.
I'm counting, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 37 characters are classified as tech. So Vision is sitting there with 37 possible allies that he could
Absolutely,
give
yeah.
that boost to. That's okay. So based on what you've told me, I think Vision would make a good argument as a very versatile character because of how many people he can affect positively.
yeah, he is. But there are so many other ones like him that have got those kind of traits
Gotcha.
on their moves. Because also he is an Avenger. So I can't think of any off the top of my head that are Avengers that do have an Avenger tag. Or not so much an Avenger tag, but an Avenger boost for their moves. That's wave 1 Avenger. But you get what I mean though. Because if you pair up Iron Man and War Machine, they instantly on spawn gain a death proof.
Right.
But only if they two are together on spawn.
Exactly. So while it's a wonderful synergy, that is very limited. Like, that is very limited. That's potatoes and peanut butter. Like you got to have those two together. So, okay. What about Shield Trooper? Now, early on, I fell in love with Shield Trooper because if I put him near anybody who taunted, that meant every time they hit my taunt guy, he would shoot them.
Yeah.
And that's pretty, there's a lot of characters that you if you've got a protector in your group, you stack them next to the guy. And you have pretty decent firing back at people thing. But you've also convinced me that using Falcon in his place is going to be better for my team, and it was.
Yeah.
But Shield Trooper seems fairly versatile that way. You said that Hela was pretty versatile before because she's a villain, and she plays well. And she's also, what I like about her, she's cosmic and mystic.
Yeah.
And there are several characters that can do that. So, all right. So you said Ghost. I'm firmly convinced. You said Falcon, and I'm ideologically convinced because he is one of my favorite heroes of all time. He has one of my favorite quotes. He says, "I do whatever he does," pointing at Captain America, "just slower." And I was just like, "Wow, you know that you're going to get hurt, and you still do it." Like Cap at least has a super soldier serum, which is government health care, which it's a good thing. And steroids, but like Falcon doesn't have any of that, and he's still going in. That's pretty cool.
He's just got a fancy winged suit and just goes out and does
Yeah.
it. Although little editors know Hela is not cosmic. No, sorry, Hela's
She's
not.
not?
No.
It had her tagged at that. Like I was reading her:
She is.
villain, cosmic, mystic, controller, and Asgardian.
My bad. Yeah, she is.
Okay.
I'll
I know Sif isn't. Sif is weirdly limited. She works with Shield actually at one point.
All right.
So, yeah. Okay, so let's see. Ghost, you got me. Falcon, you got me. I'm still struggling with that third one because I'm not going to get Ultron anytime soon. Vision looks real attractive to me.
Yeah,
so,
he's good on tech. He works very well against Scarlet Witch. As you would imagine, I think there's a little program going out at the moment featuring those two. But again, Scarlet Witch is on the Supernatural team.
Right.
So it's about whether you want to take her off that team to pair her up with Vision, because they do pair up very well together.
As you would imagine.
This move, I'm sure it's this move. No, it's not. I'm being lied to. There we go. 50% chance to apply defense up to each ally, plus always apply to Vision if he is an ally. So
Very
there's little
nice.
things that they pair up with, and I think it's actually on Vision's move. They both get together and apply mass amount of bleed on each other. If Scarlet Witch is your ally, apply bleed to each target in addition. So when you're sort of theory crafting, always sort of read up on who sort of fits in well together. Because one of the worst characters in the game, Nebula, I've stuck her on to teams with Ultron, because Ultron has got some, I can't remember what it is exactly, but he has got some tech advantages to other members of his team. And of course, Vision would enable her with the defense ups, Falcon as well, all that kind of thing. She's absolute trash, but if you were stuck for a fifth member and you weren't quite sure who to put in, then she may be an option.
Okay.
Only if you're desperate, though, man.
And I'm looking at Beast. I just recently unlocked Beast, and I know that Beast worked with the Avengers, but he's not considered an Avenger in this game, and that's fine. But he's got a lot of tags, and there are a lot of mutants in this game, and he seems to be a good support for mutants.
He is, yeah. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I've not done anything with Beast.
Okay.
I've got him at 3 red stars, tier 7, which for where I'm at the game is trash. Is nothing. 11,000 total power. I'm sorry if you'd kill for something like that, but for me that's
I've got him at 6,700, and he's at 2 red stars, tier 7. So, right. But I've also only got him at level 37. So he's kind of somebody I level up as I find the time. But yeah, what about So I'm still struggling with that third most versatile character. Like again, I'm pretty well sold on Ghost, and I'm pretty well sold on Falcon. Vision's pretty high up there. What about Captain Marvel? Is she? Because she works with a lot of folks. She hangs with the Kree. She's cosmic, and she's military. Oddly, she's not an Avenger, but does she have enough bleed over, or is she not generalized enough?
Yeah, Captain Marvel used to be just the best. Before Black Bolt came in, she was probably the best in the game that you could get outside of Ultron. She was just complete and utter power, as you can maybe see. I mean, I've got her leveled right up. All of the abilities on her leveled up quite highly as well. Paired her with Minerva, obviously another Kree, who bounce off each other as well. They do very well together. I think she probably does well with Captain America, being both military. But she's a fantastic character. If you can get her up high enough, then she's still a really good character. Not as powerful as she was maybe about 6 months ago, but still an absolutely fantastic character. Now, one maybe honourable mention that should be made, if I can find her, is Scientist Supreme.
Now, in the storyline of the game, she is kind of sassy. I like her. And she's got personality, and she seems almost like she's talked her way into a position she doesn't know much about, which I always like that. Working in public education, those are my bosses. So sell me on Scientist Supreme. Why should I start farming her?
Well, yeah, as you say, in the Avengers PS4 or PS5 game, that's pretty much kind of what she does. She's almost thrown into a position that she's quite unqualified for, but
Nice.
quite cool with it. Basically, the thing with Scientist Supreme is that if you've not got her on an AIM team, it can be quite problematic. It does depend who you tag her up with, and this is why. What she does on her first big move is, in fact, that's not the right one, is it? Yes, it is. She applies 2 to 3 random negative effects to all non-AIM members on the screen. So, everyone in the opposition will get 2 to 3 negative effects on them. But also on your team, you'll get 2 to 3 negative effects, unless they're AIM. So if you've got a full AIM team, it will just be the opposition that gets a full row of negative effects, and your guys will be fine. But if you've got, say, her with Captain America, Nebula, Rocket Raccoon, they're going to get the negative effects as well. But if you can get her round to her second move, she flips 3 negative effects into positive effects for all allies.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So if you can sustain the negative effects,
sure,
and you've got quick enough people to maybe a Falcon can speed her up, something like that. Black Widow maybe speed her up. She can get her second move off.
Tech, so you could, okay.
Tech as well, yeah. So she's a bit of an unsung hero. Again, though, it is a bit of a risk, because if you've got relatively squishy characters on your team, and you've got a bunch of, say, defense downs and bleeds, and say the opposition has someone like Scarlet Witch who can extend those bleeds on defense downs, or someone else that thrives on defense downs and things like that, say someone like Anti-Venom who can steal them and turn them into positives for his team, it can be quite risky. But if you can pull it off, if you will.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, especially at this time of night. Don't even think it works at this time of night anymore. Anyway, if you can get from her ultimate move to her special move, then that's fantastic. But what she also does as well is she has a chance to revive an ally as well, just as a passive move. It's not an actual move that you can make her do. It's just, what is it? A 25% chance at level 4. You've got a 25% chance to revive an ally, basically on her turn. So she's very helpful. She's quite a dangerous character, as in risk-wise. But she's certainly interesting to play with, that's for sure.
Oh, that sounds great. Okay, so as far as the characters we've talked about Ghost, we've talked about Falcon, we've kind of nibbled at a third member. I'm leaning Vision, although you've made a very good case for a few others, the Scientist Supreme being one of them. That does sound fun. So excellent. Well, that helps, because very often I'll have a squad of 4 or 3 characters, and I'm like, who should I put with these? And having those very versatile characters will add another layer to it, especially if I'm setting a defense, or if I'm trying to save my good characters and trying to take out the other side's war defenses. So thank you for that. That's fantastic. Okay, well, where can people find you on the social medias or for entertainment purposes?
Well, I am at iMacPun on all your usual sort of social media sites. Also on YouTube, you can search Iain MacDonald Comedy, where I've got like a load of pun videos, like wind-up calls, other entertainment things, and I've just started a gaming channel as well on my PS5, so there's some content going out on that as well. So yeah, at iMacPun or Iain MacDonald Comedy on YouTube. But Damian,
Yes.
What about yourself? Where can we find yourself if we want some laughs or Latin?
Oh, well, I offer both often in the same video, at least me laughing at my Latin. I'm at Duh Harmony on the Twitter and the Instagram. I also have a YouTube channel. Most of it is Latin lessons because I converted it over from comedy to Latin for my students as we are doing distance learning. But if you want to come by there and check out the accusative plus infinitive indirect statement constructions, I heartily recommend because it is. You can't get much funnier than the accusative plus the infinitive indirect statement construction. You really can't. Yeah. So you can find me there. Those are good places. Also, I have a podcast called A Geek History of Time. And on that podcast, we discuss all things nerdy, including things like pro wrestling. Comic books are a really big deal. So a lot of these characters actually show up in some of the comics. Now, Batman is a DC character. But imagine if Tony Stark wasn't an alcoholic and was less fun, then you could have 10 episodes just talking about that. So you can find me all over the place. I leave a fairly large digital footprint now. So, all right. Well, that was fun. Next episode, what we're going to do is we are going to talk about the famed ISO 8 mods because I know fuck all about ISO 8 mods, and I look to expand that knowledge to fuck some of ISO 8 mods. So, all right. Well, until next time, Excelsior.